Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Great news coming out of my home state, Queensland, Australia, with a review being done into the likes of puberty blockers being prescribed to innocent young kids. Now, we've started to see a gradual shift towards ending transgenderism in many countries. America just banned the likes of transgenderism for anyone under the age of 19. And I love how Trump just put 19 years old, not 18, 19 years old. Add on that extra year, why don't you? And it seems as if other countries are starting to follow on with what America is doing. America is like Big Daddy. So whatever Big Daddy decides to do, then the rest of the world is more than likely going to follow suit. Everyone's looking at what Big Daddy America is up to at the moment, which same thing with what happened when Joe Biden was in power and running things with DEI and nonsensical wokeness just being infested everywhere. Every other country started to do the same thing. I don't know if you guys noticed that. It was just like this infestation of this woke mind virus just destroying and eating itself away of everything that was good. And now that Trump's back in, he's changed everything, and everyone is just going, oh no, we've got to listen to what Big Daddy is saying and what Big Daddy is doing. Because even when the Cass review came out, even when the WPATH files were released, even when we had all these things coming out saying that we should not be prescribing puberty blockers or even cross-sex hormones to the likes of innocent young kids, people weren't listening, especially here in Australia. And it's only when you have Big Daddy America go, we're banning transgenderism for anyone under the age of 19. Surgical, chemical, whatever it is, we are banning it. There is going to be no more of this insanity and this lunacy happening. Now, for those kids that are supposed gender dysphoric, I don't think Trump's just going to leave them in the lurch. I don't think he's going to go, nah, I don't care about you, because there are young kids that suffer with this confusing narrative. And a lot of it comes down to a social contagion, but there's also a psychological contagion that is going on as well. But most of it comes down to believing in a sad and utter lie. And well, you can help a child that is believing in a sad lie. It's not easy growing up in the world that we're growing up with the age of technology and social media and everything like that. It's a huge contagion. So I don't think for 1 second Trump is just going to go, I'm banning transgenderism, but I'm not going to help any of the kids that are dealing with gender dysphoria, which is what a lot of the woke parents are really just like. You see some of the videos, they're ranting and raving like, I'm scared, my child's scared, this is going to increase young kids taking their own lives and all that other stuff. No, don't take what he's saying out of context. And when you read the official total ban of the thing, you can fully understand and grasp why he's doing it, because it is butchery and it is madness. And I'm thankful that here in Queensland, they've done an independent review of puberty blockers here in Australia and noticed that there are some major concerns with prescribing puberty blockers. We don't know the long-term ramifications of what this is going to do to the likes of young kids. All we know that it's going to cause them harm, because there's no way you can reverse puberty. There's no way you can stop it and then go back to where you just stopped it. It doesn't work like that. That's not how biology was intended to work. And you putting a drug in your system and hoping later on that I'm going to come back to where I left off before I started taking the drugs ain't going to work like that. So this independent review, the Minister for Health and Ambulance Services, the Honourable Tim Nicholls, put out this independent review into puberty blockers. Issues with Cairns Sexual Health Services raises concerns about pediatric gender therapies statewide. So usually, if you've got one state that has an issue with puberty blockers, it starts trickling down later on. So it's going to be a slow drip, but it's a good thing that we're starting to see at the moment a drip at all. Like, because there was no drip before this. Now the drip is going to go from one state to the next, and hopefully this year or even next year, we're going to do away with this nonsense altogether, because it is truly ridiculous. The Queensland government has instigated a Part 6 clinical review and a Part 9 health service investigation into clinical governance issues in Cairns relating to the provision of pediatric gender services, including stage 1, puberty blocking suppression with puberty blockers, stage 2, gender affirming hormones, which essentially just means we're going to give you castrating drugs, right? And they say that it's a therapy. It's anything but a therapy, if you ask me. Together with international evidence and recent policy decisions, that comes down to what Trump did. These events have raised serious concerns about the provision of stage 1 and stage 2 hormone therapy to patients under the age of 18 in Queensland's public health system. There you have it. People are starting to wake up and realize there are only two genders. Secondly, this whole notion of transgenderism, that a child is born in the wrong body, is a total and downright lie. It's a fallacy, and it needs to be done away with, because we are destroying the lives of innocent young kids. And it's a good thing they're doing a review into this, because what they're going to find is that it's not actually helping kids, it's destroying their lives. So this is a positive thing. I'm happy that they've done this, but the mainstream media is once again the enemy of the people, because look at this. The Guardian, Queensland halts prescription of puberty blockers and hormones for children. And then SBS Australia goes, extreme position. It's not an extreme position at all. It is the right decision to make. We should not be having this butchery and this madness for young kids. There are other ways to help young kids that may be confused and may be struggling. Obviously, the social contagion is easily fixed. Like, there's psychological ways you can move about that. But then there's also Dr. Miriam Grossman, who I've had on this show as well. If you haven't seen that interview, I highly encourage you to go and check it out. But she knows that if there is a child with gender dysphoria, there are ways you can help that child through a psychological means, not to have that child so stressed and so anxious all the time over something that really you shouldn't be anxious or stressed over at all. This whole idea of gender identity and all that sort of stuff, that is a bit ridiculous, because your identity is not in your biological sex, I'll have you know. It's got nothing to do with it. You are either male or female, that is it. That's got nothing to do with identity. Identity is not found in your biological sex. Once again, it is found in who God made you to be. It's also found in Christ if you are a believer. And if you're not a believer, then I guarantee you'll find true fulfillment in knowing that your purpose and you are truly going to be fulfilled with your identity in Christ. It is Christ that gave us life in the first place, and Christ is the one that, if you look to him, he's the one that gives you the ultimate identity and the ultimate purpose. It's found through him and serving him, my friends. So to end this, Rachel Wong has said, the only thing that's extreme, SBS News, is what's happening to vulnerable children and young people under the guise of gender-affirming care. I hope the excellent news out of Queensland today that puberty blockers and cross-sex hormones will be immediately paused for new patients under 18, pending an independent state review, sparks change across the country. Now, the other thing that I find interesting about this is you've halted or you paused it for new patients, but you're not going to pause it or halt it for existing patients. Oh, we've already got the ball rolling. So what's the point in stopping what's already like going downhill, essentially? No. Stop it entirely. If you're going to put a pause or stop for new patients, why not just do it across the board? That's what I would have done. Like, it's insane to me to think like you can't stop all of it. I can only stop new patients. So I see like I'm doing the right thing by that. No, you got to stop it all. Put an end to it all. And then like that would be the best thing ever, in my opinion, and help the ones that will deal with the already stuffed up nature that you've put them on the puberty blockers and the cross-sex hormones. Deal with them in ways that are going to actually benefit them. And there are heaps of ways that you can do that, I'll have you know. And science and medicine has come to that point, I believe. So why keep them on it? I understand if like they're 18 or they're adults, I understand it's their decision from that point on. But if you're going to ban something, ban puberty blockers and ban cross-sex hormones. Just do away with it. Anyway, that's enough from me. Great news coming out of Queensland. Let's hope that it changes things for the better. You guys take care. You be blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video.